welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I want to talk about the Common Application. Now for some high school seniors or juniors, they hear that word and they get so scared and it's so nerve-wracking. But to me, the Common Application was pretty easy. There was a little bit of bumps, but it works out. So the first thing I'd like to point out is that the Common Application is very useful. You fill out one application and you can submit it to as many schools as you would like. I personally submitted it to 5 schools. Out of the 7 schools I applied to, the other 2 did not accept the Common Application. Which brings me to my next point. So the Common Application is accepted by 600-ish schools. You can just Google Common Application List or go on commonapp.org and it will lead you right to that list and you can see if your school accepts it. So it is worth your while. Rather than filling out like one application instead of like I did 5 or one application instead of 10. I mean, to me, it just makes a lot of sense. The first thing, what is the Common Application? So I'm just going to use my phone just for reference. So the Common Application is broken down into a few different sections. So it is an online portal. And so you go to commonapp.org or you can just Google Common App and it'll pop right up the website. You can make an account, start building your Common Application from there. Usually it becomes open in August for the seniors to apply. I started mine in August, but honestly I didn't finish until around Thanksgiving. So it does take quite a few months, but if you put in the effort, you will more than likely get accepted to your schools. The first thing that the Common Application breaks down into is your profile. So that's just asking you your basic information, your name, birthday, basically all that little stuff. The second one is family, where you basically tell all about your family, who else is going to be in college, are they already in college, where did your parents go to school, basically anything has to do about your family. The third tab is education. So they ask for your current and most recent school, if it was a boarding school, if you'll graduate from this school, when's your graduation date, all your counselor's info, and they ask for just some other future plans. The next thing is testing. So you can choose to self-report your SAT and ACT scores so that colleges will have a sense of what your scores are, but you don't necessarily have to. You can if you would like to. The colleges will still require you to submit them officially through College Board, and I can do another video about that if you'd like. So you can choose to self-report your scores so your schools can see them before they officially get them. Next is activities. So this honestly was the hardest tab for me to fill out, was activities, because you only can put in 10 activities, and I am that kid that is involved in everything humanly possible. So it was pretty hard for me to pick my most important 10. Little instructions and help bar towards the side. Read everything in those instructions and help bar. I know you might not want to, or it might seem like a waste of time. I remember reading it and realizing, oh, I need to put my activities in rank of what's important to me, and they were all out of rank when I had first plugged them in. So I mean, it's easily fixable, but it is a mistake like that can be commonly made, and not like the colleges are going to know what's most important to you or not unless you read the instructions and you put it in that correct way. You can report activities that will help your college understand your outside life of the classroom. So what you do to put in an activity is you click the activity type, your position or your leadership if applicable, and you can describe your activity. They don't give you a lot of space to describe your activity, so it is really brief, which makes it easy because you have the colleges reading thousands upon thousands of applications. So just watch out for that it does not let you write a 5-paragraph essay about your activity. It asks for your grade level, your timing of your participation, meaning all year, half year, school year, such like that, the hours you spent per week, and the hours you spent per year. and if you'd like to participate in a similar activity in college. So that's the activities tab. The next tab is writing. Now, for some people, this can be the hardest tab. So the Common App allows you to write a essay. It can be up to 650 words. Your minimum is 250, but it is a story about yourself. You are telling someone about yourself. So for me, it wasn't that hard to write about myself. It's a lot harder to write an academic essay rather than a personal essay for me. But for some people, it might not be that way. So definitely ask your teachers, like especially English teachers, for help if you need it. I guarantee you they'd be more than willing to sit down with you and read your essay and go over it with you. My English teacher did. So you basically can pick from a few different, I think it's 5 different essay topics. So my essay topic was, some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. So I did share the story of earning my Girl Scout Gold Award, and I am fully confident in that essay. I ended up being 640 words, so that was a pretty almost maximum essay. It originally was 850, so I had to narrow it down quite a bit. So also there will be a list of the colleges that require the personal essay and those that don't, but I mean, it will look better if you just sit down and take the time and do it, rather than if it's not required by a school, just dismissing it. Also in the writing tab, you can talk about any disciplinary history or any additional information that may be needed. Common application, you add in what colleges you'd like to send your application to, and it comes up in a little dashboard. So I have 5 colleges on here, and if you click on a college, it will tell you your status of your application, whether it's incomplete, complete, received, whatever, and their writing requirements. So they require an essay, or if it's optional. So some colleges will require you to answer additional questions for that college. So that'll be under the My Colleges tab. So for the My Colleges tab, you may have to answer different questions. Like I know for me, one of my schools was SAT, ACT optional. So I had to go into my college tab, and they had to say, they said, would you like us to consider your scores? I said no personally, but some people might say yes. So it is a very good tool, and the question I did get asked the most in that questions tab from the colleges was, why do you want to go here? That is a smaller essay, but it's still meaningful, so make sure you put a lot of thought into that as well. Another thing you have to do is you have to waive your FERPA. So that's basically a whole different ball game, but there is a way that you can FERPA, you can release your FERPA. Personally, I'm not quite sure how you do it, because my guidance counselor did help and basically did it for me. But if you ask any guidance counselor in your school, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help. You can also invite recommenders, because you have to get college recommendation letters. You can invite them to the Common App and go through recommendations that way. My school uses Naviance, so I didn't go through recommendations that way. But if you personally did, or if you know someone who did, leave a comment below and let me know about it. I'm kind of curious. Then after you fill out your recommendations and your FERPA and the college questions, the next section under the colleges would be to submit your application, and basically make sure that everything is perfect, you have everything done, and you can actually print out a PDF copy of your application so you know exactly what is being sent to the schools. One question that I was commonly asking schools is, does it matter if I submit an application through your school or the Common App? Is there a preference? And all of my schools said no. There is no preference. Now, I personally worried, I personally thought that maybe they wouldn't think I wanted to spend as much time on their application, or just wanted to fill out one and be done, but they honestly could care less. They just want to see your application, and if you want to submit it through the Common App, that's good. If you don't, that's fine too. So don't worry about that. So for me, the common application, it did take quite a few hours, but it is so worth it. It is so worth taking your time, slowing down, really thinking through all of the questions and your essay, even getting someone else to review your application with you, just to make sure that everything is spelled correctly, you have all the right information in there. You definitely need to review your application 1,001 times. So that's it for my overview about the common application. I know it was kind of a short overview, so if you have any more detailed questions, I'd be more than happy to try and answer them for you. Just leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you for my next video. Bye!